Okie dokie, slow pokies. I am the Comics Kid 2099 here to do a commentary track on another episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Today we will be talking about the third episode of Book 1 titled The Southern Air Temple. Go ahead and get the timestamp as 0 as it can possibly go on whatever method it is you're using to watch this episode. And in a few seconds, I'm going to tell you to click play, and at that point, you will click play starting now. Okay, so before we get into the episode, as we have Katara do our intro, I want to say, like 2 days ago, as of this recording, I discovered that the actress Mae Whitman does the voice of Katara. Now, I know I had heard that name. I've said before that I watched all the special features on these DVD releases that I have, and I'm 100% sure that they mentioned Mae Whitman by name at some point, either in a commentary or a behind-the-scenes thing, but it wasn't until 2 days ago that I actually put a face to that name. She was in Arrested Development. She was Anne. She was also in Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the movie. She was one of the seven evil exes. I had no idea that she had done live action acting as well as voice acting. And I've always had this idea in my mind that people who do live action acting kind of keep that separate from their voice acting, and of course that's not true. You have, for example, Mark Hamill, who did the Fire Lord in this series, or you have Clancy Brown, who has done live action acting as well as voice acting. He's done a bunch of voice acting in this series even. So I feel like, anyway, that kind of floored me. I just wasn't expecting someone that's kind of well known to be a voice in this series. So I thought that was kind of cool. Uh, are we going to get another agitated Sokka? No, not agitated, just kind of. That was a good face. Uh, this is good. I like this. This reminds me of the people who are driving on the interstate, and then the person in the passenger seat falls asleep, and then they get behind a semi truck being hauled, and then they scream like they're about to run into it. Um, Oh yes, we're about to get introduced to Captain slash Commander slash Admiral Zhao. Take a drink every time he gets promoted if you're wanting to play along with the Avatar drinking game that I just invented. Captain, he's Commander now. Time to take a swig of my Kool-Aid. I do like that Iroh, he's polite and respectful even to someone he probably doesn't like too much. We'll get a little bit of that in this episode. This is even Zuko at his most dour. I still like that he occasionally has bits of humor. This is a good funny moment here, and very quickly they realize that, and maybe they knew this from the start, and it's not that they learned it necessarily, but I like that our bad guys are not the worst guys. I think that's a really good way of giving us bad guys who we can also root for. There are going to be episodes where we're not going to be rooting for Zuko and Iroh because they are going to be trying to capture Aang and his friends, or Aang at least, to bring him to the Fire Lord. But here, we're already getting worse bad guys so that we can know that Zuko is not the ultimate evil, and eventually, whenever we get to see him go on his redemption quest, we will still get to have bad guys. So that's going to work out great. I don't know if they ever really address that it's going to be really cold riding on a flying bison like that. Like, they're still in the South Pole, so it's already going to be cold. But even when they go further north and they're in warmer climes, it should still be kind of cold when you're up, 70 feet in the air riding really fast on a flying bison. Um, oh, now, this is... Okay, so Katara is trying to tell Aang that all of the airbenders have been killed. And Aang, of course, won't hear any of it because he still is holding out hope. But they already told him that the airbenders were wiped out in the first or second episode. The grandma said that all of them were extinct, and this was the first one she had seen in her lifetime. Now, maybe Aang is thinking, well, the airbenders would have no reason to make it to this water tribe several miles away, but they've already put the idea in his head that these guys have been killed off. So That's a little bit of a continuity snafu, I guess you could say. That still looks pretty good for being abandoned for 100 years. I'll say that. It is amazing. That's some good animation right there. I really like the way the face models for Aang. Oh, they're still trying to get the Earth Kingdom under control. It's been 100 years. You guys have been sleeping on the job. Oh, you called your father a fool? Even behind his back? Oh, sick burn. No pun intended. Because he was burned on his face. Get it? Oh, we haven't found him yet. I'm surprised the uncle hasn't. Yeah, but there's always an avatar, dude. Like, the airbending avatar may be dead, but there's gonna be another one. You could bring, like, the earthbending avatar or whatever. Why does Zhao suspect that there's an avatar? Has he already talked to someone from Zuko's crew? Like, he's acting like he already knows that something is up. This is good lighting here with the fire. I like what they're doing here. Oh. Oh, okay. But why did he suspect? Why did he already suspected that they had met the Avatar before he interrogated the crew? That's odd. I like Zhao. I think he's a good bad guy, but that is a little odd. I'm drinking some Kool-Aid in case you're wondering. Although Zhao hasn't been promoted again, so I guess I cheated. Yeah, let's talk behind Aang's back, try and trick him into not noticing the genocide. This episode does introduce Momo, so that's going to be fun. Now, Aang should already be a little, like, cautious, because he hasn't seen... See, yeah, he's saying, like, where is everyone? Yeah, this is not going to be an easy one to talk through. This is going to be tough. Things... Yeah? Oh, that was good. Good on you, Sokka. Oh, no. They're going to be hitting him with the ball. He's going to take it because he doesn't want Aang to cry. He's one of the good ones. Here we go. Yep, I knew it. Now, surely, Aang, you know that he doesn't have any airbending, so he can't really play. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah, this is just going to be an episode full of physical slapstick for Sokka. I don't know if we can call it slapstick because it's not really funny per se, but, physical stuff. Poor guy. I mean, he didn't kill the airbenders. He shouldn't get this much punishment, right? This is a pretty big mountain, pretty big temple. Alrighty. Yeah, Sokka, we know. You both saw that helmet thing. I like the design of the Fire Nation helmets. It looks... I mean, obviously they were going for like a skeleton motif, but I think that looks pretty cool. Now, okay, so did they put the statue... Well, they had to have put the statue up before Aang left. Okay. How old was Gyatso? That's what I want to know. Like, was he in his hundreds? Like, 105 by this point? Like, I'd like to know how long does the average person live in this world? Like, this is a world with considerably less industrial revolution, so there wouldn't be as much pollution in the air, not as much fried foods. People are probably going to be eating a little healthier. They're probably going to live a little longer. So, how old is Gyatso? Like, we know later on, Bumi lives to be like 112 at least. So, how old, like, their grandma, how old is she, for example? Just food for thought. I don't know the answer to those questions. I'm sure there's an Avatar wiki out there that can tell us, but I like getting to see this, getting to see what Aang was like before. Hey now, you didn't get to throw those on Sokka. I'm sure he would have just loved having stuff thrown on him. You guys have been doing it all episode. That's a good face right there also. Who does he think he's going to meet? That's a legitimate question I have. I don't even know. Oh, okay, yeah. Yes, but that was because of your avatar energy. Does he know that that was because of his avatar energy that he survived? Hmm. Man, poor Sokka. He like hitting his face on the wall. He gets covered in snow. Gets thrown through the goal. That looks kind of CG animated. Doesn't necessarily look bad, but it doesn't look as 2D as the rest of the episode. Yeah, I'm not sure where I want to lay Aang at as far as like, is he being naive or does he genuinely think it's possible for airbenders to still be alive? Because like I said, they've already told. Yeah, good point, Zhao. There's really no reason that a 12-year-old boy with no combat training could escape Zuko. I made that point last time and I'm going to say it again. He may be the Avatar, but he hasn't really trained any at this point. Now, even with Zuko kind of being persona non grata with his dad at this point, I'm wondering if the Fire Lord would be okay with Zhao just straight up imprisoning Zuko. I'm thinking probably not, but you never know. The Fire Lord was a bad person. I'm trying to think if we get to see any faces. This is the Avatar room, right? Oh, he doesn't know. Yeah, these are the avatars. Do we, like, okay, I'm looking to see if we're gonna, because a few of the avatars actually get named in the series, and I'm trying to see if, like, Roku and, uh, what's her face, the other, Kyoshi, I think their name was Kyoshi. I'm trying to think if those guys, if we get to see them here, or if they kind of messed up and I want to say they messed up, because I don't know where where Roku is. Is this him? There's Roku. The next one should be Kyoshi next to him. Nope, that's a dude. They messed up. Whoa, did it just... Yeah, freaking me out, man. Yeah, that was a man earthbender right next to Roku. So at this point, although the Kyoshi Warriors is the next episode, so they should have known that they were... That's weird. I don't know if they just that quickly, if they messed up and changed their mind almost immediately, because by this point you'd think they would have had at least the first 4 or 5 episodes kind of figured out pretty good. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, like, they've already told Aang it's been 100 years, the firebenders killed my mom, and we haven't seen any airbenders in this whole time. Although I will say, like, there's no reason airbenders should have come to a village that small. But Aang is setting himself up for a hurting if he thinks that there are actually... Now, is Aang going to do this every time that Sokka tries to eat meat? Like, I don't want to set up a verbal debate between vegetarians and non-vegetarians, meat eaters, if you will. Personally, I eat meat, but I like to think I'm not necessarily cruel about it. But at this point, like, is Aang gonna get up in his face every time he tries to eat something that's used to be a living creature? I don't know the answer to that, but at this point, it looks like that's gonna be a thing between them from now on. Oh, so he's not holding him prisoner. Okay. Chuckles. That was an odd face from Zhao. Now that is true. What Zuko has said is true from a certain point of view. There's a Robot Chicken reference for you fine folks. No allies. He may not have as many allies, but he's got everyone in his ship. I wonder how that worked. Did those guys willingly banish themselves, or did Zuko pay them to come with him? Or when he got banished, was it just like, well, screw you 12 in particular, you're also going to be banished. Good luck. Oh, someone's about to say something they're going to regret. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Ha ha. Yeah, it is. The Agni guy. That's our first reference to that, I believe. I was wondering, are we going to get a flashback? Flashback to young Zuko? Nope, not yet. I think that will be soon, though. Oh no, Aang. Don't do this to yourself, buddy. Oh, yeah. Oh no. That's someone that he recognizes. Wait. Okay. But now, all the monks would have had the airbending symbol, right? That could have been any of them. I mean, we know it's Gyaso, but... Yeah, Sokka, you read the room, buddy. Yeah, that could have been, like, anyone, because that's the airbending... Uh-oh. Whoa. Haven't seen him use that in almost an episode. Oh, man, wait. I thought that was in it. Oh, I should have looked better. If there's... Oh, man. I couldn't tell. Because we know who the waterbending avatar was before Kyoshi, so... Oh, son! Oh, yeah. Things just kicked into high gear. Yeah! No use keeping it a secret now, Prince Zuko. Should I do the voices, guys? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, what is... I know he's, like, not entirely in control here, but what is his end game? Like, does he think I'm going to murder Katara and Sokka because they're the only two living beings here? Like, I know this is kind of like him hulking out, but there are other times in the series when he goes into Avatar state where he's not just an out of control, like, thing of rage, right? Like, what... I'm not entirely sure how much of this is... Because if he's going into the Avatar state, in theory, that's like the power and knowledge of previous avatars. And I guess the previous avatars are upset that the Air Nation is wiped out, so in, a few generations, no more Air avatars, I guess. They don't really address what would have happened. Like, as we see in The Legend of Korra, Aang does pass on his airbending to his one of his kids, and then he passes it down to his kids. So, man, this is looking cool. Pretty tight right here. But yeah, so what would have happened if Aang never did pass down his airbending? Would the Avatar cycle have broken once you got back around to it's time for another airbending Avatar? And I don't know the answer to that. It's more questions. I don't know what would have happened. This is looking pretty good, I've got to say. Both of them are looking pretty exhausted. They've only thrown a few fireballs so far, guys. I think they just repeated. Yeah, they just repeated that animation like 3 times. I hate to say it. That could have been better. Yeah. I'm also curious. Like, as we can see, Zuko does, like, a firebender can get burnt, but when and how? Because, like, Zhao threw some fire at Zuko, and he was able to kind of break it with his arms, and it didn't burn him. And like I said in the previous episode, Zuko throws fire at Aang, and nothing happens, but then we have later episodes where Aang tries to use firebending, and he hurts Katara, and something does happen. So, what is the... Why would you ask him to do it? I'd be begging like a little girl. So that shows my character. Oh man, he just insulted his better. He just beat you, son, and now you're insulting him. That's bad form, Zhao. Oh, yeah. Yes! This is one of the reasons I like Iroh. Do not taint your victory, Prince Zuko. I think every human being on the planet could use a Prince Iroh as their mentor in life. And furthermore, every human being needs a heads up. Like, this is your Prince Iroh. Like, this is the person you need to listen to him. Like, Zuko doesn't always listen to Iroh, so everyone needs to know who their Prince Iroh is what I'm saying. But is the ship still fixed? Are you able to go out? Okay, so I mentioned the Avatar drinking game earlier. Take a drink every time. Man, take a drink every time she mentions her mom. I hate to say it. And then every time she gives one of her speeches, I think they kind of poke fun at that in the episode with the Ember Island players. But now, how much of this is Aang? Obviously, her speech is working, but like this is hundreds of generations of avatars, and then just a small part of it is Aang. But I still want to know what was his plan when he goes into the Avatar state there. And we're still not going to find out about that for a while. Like we just know he kind of hulks out here. Yes, we know that's what the series is called. Aang. Read the box. Okay, you got Roku. Now it looks like there was a woman there. It looked like it was an airbending woman. They're just all messed up in here. The statues move around whenever they leave. Aw, that was nice of him. Yeah, so Sokka's hungry. What have these guys been eating? Like, are they just better at not being hungry? And Momo's from here too, obviously. I think I remember them saying that early on they had an idea that Momo was actually a resurrected, like it was the spirit of Gyatso in a new form. And I'm okay with them not doing that. I think Momo's just fine as like a fun little cute character, but not an important character necessarily. Well, that's it for this one. I had fun. I hope you guys did too. I will see y'all in a week when I do another one of these. Have a good one.